You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
Yes, sir. Good morning to the Auburn family. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Uptempo Podcast. I'm your host, Dustin Smith, joined as I am every Sunday morning by my guy, Nick Frazier, from over at the Water Cooler Talk Sports Podcast. Nick, we're talking breakout stars this morning. Who will be some guys for the Auburn Tigers that haven't put a whole lot of production on tape yet, but we think they're going to break out? I got two guys on offense. You went with two guys on defense, and I love both of your picks. I think one of them will probably be the most important of the four that we mentioned today, man. Before we get started, as everybody files in here, y'all know the deal. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if it's your first time, or if you're one of the 60% of returning people to every video that is not subscribed. It's free, baby. It costs you nothing. Just hit that sub button. And something that we have not had in a couple of weeks is any memberships gifted away. And we got to get some people in the family, Nick. So level up today. $3.99 a month will get you in that JV squad. $5.99 a month to get you to that varsity squad. Let's see if we can get at least 10 of these gifted away or purchased today. That will be our goal. Did a film breakdown for you guys Friday night for one Donovan Moore, Auburn's newest commitment, #1 player in the state of Alabama. Go check that out. And then also, if you are a member and you watch the recruiting podcast on Monday, you were not surprised at one commitment this week from a Donovan Moore. So if you want to get in on that intel and everything we got going on, level up today, sign up for those memberships. Also, there is a return to the War Report Gaming channel. Haven't had a whole lot going on there the last couple of months. I have had to get some stuff right with it, how to get a new Xbox, how to get some new cords. There's a lot that goes into just broadcasting those video games out. So we're returning. Playing Ole Miss, Nick. I'm the quarterback of ECU. We're playing Ole Miss in the first round of the playoffs, Monday night at 6 p.m. So be there and check that out. But let's get into today's discussion. And, Nick, I'm going to start with you, my guy. So here it is again, the breakout stars for Auburn this upcoming season. Nick, I think yours is the most important. Explain to us why you have one young, Jared Smith, over there on the edge position as this year's breakout star.
For the simple part, I mean, when you look at the edge room and you look at what we lost in the edge room and what you need from that position, I've always stated that when you in the NFL, you pay the quarterback first, and then between the next two people that you pay is either the guy that's going to protect the quarterback's blind side or the guy that's going to rush the quarterback. It's who you pay. And Jared Smith showed flashes last year of what he could potentially be in this defense in the SEC last year. Long, athletic, has the potential, has the measurables, has everything it is that he needs in order to be a dominant pass rusher off the edge is what Auburn needs. When you look at the defense, you look at the interior, you feel pretty good about the interior. When you look at the linebacking core, you look at the linebackers, you feel very, 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 very solid, very, very good about the linebackers. When you look at the safety room, deep as I don't know what, you feel good there. You look at the cornerbacks, you see you have a lot of guys that have played some snaps as well, so you feel pretty solid there. But the one edge of the one thing, the one position on the defense that you have that you probably have a little bit of concern about is the edge. And you need a breakout star there. You need a Jared Smith at that position to come on, come off, show off, and be able to get pressure on the quarterback, to be able to aid the back end when teams get into obvious passing downs. You need guys to be able to get to the quarterback, get their hands on the quarterback, cause rush throws, cause sacks, cause strip sacks, cause fumbles. We just need a dominant pass rusher off the edge. And I believe that Jared Smith can be that guy because of the flashes we saw from him last year. And this is going to be his breakout season this year for Jared Smith. That's why I picked him.
What is a productive season in terms of sacks? Like I'm not saying you're predicting this, but he has to get to this number for you to say, hey, he was a problem this year.
I would go a stat line that would be breakout for Jared Smith. I would say somewhere in the realm of 30 to 40 total tackles. I would say somewhere in the realm of north of 6 sacks would be somewhere in the breakout realm for him. Tackles for loss, we would love to see somewhere around that 8 to 11 mark, somewhere in that range is what we would like to see tackles for loss. Give me a couple of give me like 2 forced fumbles or 2 fumble recoveries in that. That'd be great as well. I think that would be a nice stat line for Jared Smith when it comes to breakout start. But another thing, another stat that kind of gets overlooked, QB hurries. The pressure that he's putting on the quarterback as well. What is his percentage there? I mean, that's a little bit, I guess that's more advanced stat for more people and things of that nature. But if you can see the QB hurries, how is he putting pressure on the quarterback? How is he bending the edge? And how is he making it? How is he affecting the opposing team's passer to where he is to where it is affecting the play? So I think he has a chance to be a dominant and disruptive force this coming season.
Yeah, the pressure rate is important. My issue with that stat is when it's all the player has. When he doesn't have any sacks or any tackles for loss, and they're like, "But do you look? He does have a high pressure rate," and it's like, "Yeah, but he's never getting there.
Never getting there."
Yeah. But if he's got some sacks, he's got some TFLs, and then also you can look at the pressure rate and say he's getting there at a high percentage. Then that tells the story. Yeah, I would like something in terms of production. Kind of what Kieran Crawford did this year, and I think that's very very doable. And then, if you can get 5-6 sacks and some pressure on the other side from Womack, that would be, that would be great. The thing about this room is there's a lot of questions, bro. There's just a lot of question marks. And this is why I said that yours is probably the most important of the 4 names that we're going to mention today. One, because of the importance of the position, and 2, like, it's either him or Womack, if just off the top of my head, in terms of just like raw talent in that room. And I'm probably giving the edge to Jared Smith just because I feel like there's still so much untapped potential there. Like Womack's played football for a while, right? We've seen a lot of him in college. You kind of know what you're going to get there, and I'm hoping that he has his best year yet at Auburn. But like you kind of know what it is there. Like you said before, there's going to be moments where he shows up big, and there's going to be times where you're looking around and maybe you can't find him. So if Jared Smith can be consistent from week 1 to week 12 over there, down there at the edge position for us, and then also, look, this isn't going to be talked about a lot, and I don't know how much it matters in today's college football, but the original investment made in Jared Smith, there's a lot of guys that Auburn made big investments for out of high school. And we're never going to even reap those benefits. I'll continue to say you're going to look back at this last year's Auburn's roster 5 years from now.
Okay.
And you're going to be so mad at how many of those guys are playing in the NFL. And a lot of those guys left Auburn this offseason.
They did. So
Jared Smith was part of that big recruiting class. He's one of the guys that stayed. Let's get something out of that class. Let's get something out of that investment. And he's one of the higher end guys, super talented down there in that edge position. Every school in the country wanted him, and you were able to get him, and you were able to keep him, which was hard because he showed promise as a freshman.
He did.
So it could have been easy for him to jump and go somewhere else because potential at the edge position, and he's got 3 years of eligibility. Let's go. Like a lot of teams would have signed up for that. So keeping him was massive. He's got to come in this year and have a big year. And I'm sure at some point in the summer, we're going to do a list of most critical guys, most important guys, not named Byron Brown, because that's the obvious one. And Jared Smith is on that list.
He's on that list.
Yes. Yeah, so great pick, Nick. I'm with you absolutely, and I think he's going to have a big year. Get to some of his comments before we get to our next one. I got Rodney's in here. He says, "What's going on, Bruton, Alabama? Black Magic Racing." Nick is rocking the Black Magic Racing.
Surely am.
Did you tell your dad about the picture? Yeah, I sent it to him. Yeah, I've clowned my dad before, Rodney, for the old school yearbook pictures of his, because he's all about the clean cut, and then you look at them high school pics and Pop's looking very 70-ish. What's up, everybody? I'm talking about he got a track pick, Nick. I'm talking about hair. Just it takes up half the page. It's just
man. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up.
He had the flow. Pops also kicked in high school with a barefoot.
Really
crazy. He could kick a 45-yarder off his toe. Nuts. The wildest thing I've ever seen. He can't hit it from 45 no more, but he can still boot it. with a barefoot. It's nuts. Roger says, let's get it. What's up, Roger? Appreciate you being here. He said on the last show, he commented on yesterday's Byron Brown episode, this is his favorite Auburn podcast. I want you to know, Roderick, that's my favorite freaking comment because there's about 7 million Auburn podcasts at this point. So thank you, bro. Thank you. That comment does mean a lot, and I appreciate you being in here. Teresa says, Ward and Eagle, good morning. What's up, Teresa? Glad you're here. Our guy, he never misses his show. Huggy with the War Damn Eagle. What's up, buddy? Alex says, how about some Auburn baseball getting it done? I will have an episode either drop tonight or tomorrow recapping this weekend in Auburn sports. So I'll do baseball, basketball, and we'll mention, I don't know a whole lot about what happened. I didn't watch much of it, but I do know the ladies killed it over there on the softball diamond as well. So yeah, definitely going to get into that. Baseball with a sweep, basketball spiraling out of control. Alex says, what is your all-time? Yeah, we'll get into that later, buddy, for sure. That's a great question. Well, I might have to do a whole member pod on something like that. Slugs up, asked Dustin, does your dad? No, he's out, bro.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He got some eligibility.
Yeah, Dad had like a serious brain injury a couple of years ago. We're not trying him out there on the football field, bro.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And the range, I mean, he's in the 60s now. The range has gone down. As a kid, he was booting that thing from 40 plus on the practice field. I don't know 20 years later, many a hammer swung, how that will go. how that will go. Let's get into my next one, man. Y'all keep the comments rolling and let us know whether you're in the live chat or on the replay. Who are your breakout stars for this upcoming season? I'm going Bryce Cain, Nick. I'm going with our guy, Bryce Cain from Mobile, Alabama. Look, the speed of elites. We all kind of know what the offense was the last couple of years. And on top of that, even though the offense was dysfunctional and not very good, there was still a lot of solid receivers in front of him. And cannot forget, this is a kid that grew up playing baseball. He got into football late into his high school career. It's tough, man. It's tough. There's a lot to learn. It's wide receiver is one of the easier positions to learn. There's still a lot that goes into it. There's still a whole lot that goes into it. It might take you a year or two just to learn the plays and the formations and kind of what it takes to be a college wide receiver. I think Bryce Cain is primed for a breakout. And if you're looking at that slot position, it's going to be him or Christian Neptune that get the original nod. And I'm not going to shy away. It's going to be a fun battle. That's going to be one of the battles I watch in spring because I think Christian Neptune's a sleeper. And I think, honestly, they're going to have to find a way to get these guys both reps. And that's not going to be too hard for Alex Golesh because if you look at his offense, they spread the football around. But somebody's going to have to get that initial nod. And I just think that Bryce Cain is ready for this. I think the talent's there. I think that he's been in college football now. I think he's ready. And there's so much, the timelines have been sped up so much now because of the portal and because of the investments made on kids out of high school. If you don't see them doing anything in a year or two, it's like, what is this? What in the world's going on with this kid? Look, development is still a thing. And I just think it all lines up for Bryce Cain that now is his time. I think he's been patient. I think he's remained loyal to Auburn. And I think he's going to be rewarded for all of that. And the main thing here is I think he's a good football player.
Yep.
I think he's a good football player. I think now that he knows what it takes to be a college receiver and he's going to be – look, think about all those guys on last year's team in that wide receiver room. I'm telling you, the majority of those guys are going to play in the NFL. Maybe one or two of them are going to bust out compared to their high school ranking. But – that room is going to play in the league. A lot of those guys are going to be in the NFL. And despite all their talents, Auburn didn't know how to use them. Auburn didn't know how to use Bryce Cain effectively. He's going to be with a coach now that knows how to use him effectively. And I can tell you this. I'm not saying that he, again, kind of look at that slot battle with him and Christian Neptune. I've watched both of them play multiple times in high school. I'm not saying he's a better all-around receiver, but the speed, Bryce Cain has some speed that no one else in that room has. I haven't seen, some of those guys, the USF guys that have come over, I haven't really seen them let it loose. But I doubt very highly that they're going to outrun Bryce Cain. When you have that elite level of speed, like it's it's NFL plus in terms of just speed. If he can put the rest of this game with that, trust me, Alex Golis is going to find a way to use the tools that Bryce Cain have. And he's also going to have a quarterback that can throw him the football. And that always helps receivers too. What do you think about Bryce Cain this year, Nick?
I think Bryce Cain is a solid, great pick. I mean, because we've all been wanting to see exactly what what he can do. We did a show Friday, so where we kind of predicted, Auburn's offensive depth chart, before the spring, and potentially what it could be. And I think we all came to the consensus that Bryce Cain would probably be that number that would be one of those first 3 receivers that go out. Is what we came to. And we are all the same way we were about Perry before Perry left. We feel the same way about Bryce Cain. Like, we really want to see what he does on the football field. Yeah. Because when you look at this offense and you see exactly how they want when they throw the football, like a lot of people, if you've been watching or reading about this offense, a lot of people think they like to throw the ball a lot. It's really a running offense, but when they do throw the football, a lot of the times when they throw the ball, it's a lot of quick things. There is some explosive plays down the field, but some of the time it's some very quick hitting type passes to where you get the ball out to your playmakers and you let them make plays. And I just can't wait to see exactly when they actually get the ball in Bryce, when Bryce Cain gets the ball in his hands, how he maneuvers on the field and how he's able to make things happen with the ball in his hands, whether that's at the receiver position or whether that's somewhere in the special teams position, as a punt return, whatever it is. Yeah, just got to be able to see this guy on the field and see him be able to just do phenomenal, great things with the football in his hand. And that's what I'm excited about with Bryce Cain. That's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about seeing somebody that has the talent. We're talking about the potential now, but when you see him do it, then you're going to see it come to fruition, and you get to see him do it. Just get the football in his hands. Like, there are certain people that make plays. There are certain people that when you just get the ball in hands, special things just happen. And I believe Bryce Cain is one of those guys. And hopefully we get to see that a lot this year in this offense with him making plays. And I believe this is a year that we get to see that happen, especially with the way that this offense is run, with potentially with playing a lot of guys as well. So we will get to see it, but hopefully he gets to rise to the top and be one of those, premier, trusted receivers that Byron Brown can get the ball to consistently.
It would drive me crazy if I was a coach to look down the sideline and see that speed just standing there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bro, we got to find a way.
You can't coach speed. You can't coach speed.
Yeah, we got to find a way to get that on the field. So, yeah, I'm expecting a big year for Bryce Cain. And nothing crazy, not 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns or nothing. But he's going to be a productive part of this offense, and you're going to know that he is out there and he's going to make some big plays for Auburn. And the one thing about we've seen this with Auburn these last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, however long, man. You get into that red zone and you struggle. Yeah. And now I don't think I'm hopeful that those woes will end. I think having a 6'5", 240+ pound quarterback that can run like a deer helps you out in the red zone. It definitely should. But also just how bad all the play calling and all that kind of stuff was. You can imagine, with as bad as all the game prep was last year, that the red zone periods were probably disorganized and dysfunctional and not up to standard. So hopeful that all that changes. But here's the point I'm making. People like Bryce Cain, sometimes you could throw him the ball 60 yards out, and within 4 seconds, he's in the end zone. And to hell with the red zone. We don't got to worry about it. He's got that kind of game-changing, game-breaking ability when he gets the football in his hands. You can't teach that. It's super dynamic. It's very elite. Hopefully he can round all of that into being a complete receiver. I think you're going to see it this year. So
at the end of the season, are we saying that Bryce Cain is outside of Byron Brown? Are we saying he's the most important player on Auburn's offense? Well, let's not say most important. Let's say top 3 outside of Byron Brown.
I have so many questions about O-line.
Okay.
And I don't think Bryce Cain is going to be your number one receiver.
I don't think he is either. But when you look at how he fits into the offense, are we saying? Because I think he's going to be one of those receivers that you get the ball to him, you just let him do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
And you'll take the shots down the field when necessary, just because of the ability to get past and behind the defense. But when we look at it in totality of what his role could be in his offense, and we just projected here, are we sitting here saying that when we look at when this season is over with, are we saying that Bryce Cain is one of the top 3 most important players on this offense outside of Byron Brown?
I can't go that far, but I would hope that you're right. Because also I got to look at Jeremiah Cobb. I'm looking at like who's going to step up at right tackle. You know what I mean? There's just I think he could be important for sure. That's why I put him on the list. And I definitely think like for me, I don't even know how many receptions I would give Bryce Cain.
Would 30 be enough?
I think he goes north of 30, but I don't know if I put him over 40.
Okay.
But like, what is his yards per catch? You know, is he averaging up around 17, 18? Like, is he a big play guy? And that's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting that Bryce Cain can have the kind of games where he has 3 catches, and one of those was a 52-yard touchdown.
Okay.
That's so because again, I think Christian Neptune is gonna have north of 25 receptions. And they play the same position. But I've gone and I've looked, Nick, and I've broke down Alex Golesh spreads this football around.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a receiver that can run the offense, you're gonna get plays.
Yeah,
and he talked about that a lot with the running backs, where he got asked in the last presser, why so many running backs? Like, you just kept adding, and you brought back Omar, and you kept Alvin. And he said, because we run a lot of plays.
Yeah.
We run a lot of plays, so we need a lot of bodies at certain positions.
Yeah.
He said, and I'm going fast, and I need to get running backs out and get new ones in.
Mm-hmm.
I heard him say that, and I applied that immediately to the slot position. It's not going to be like years past where it's just whoever is your slot. Malcolm Simmons is your slot guy. Or maybe we'll move Eric Singleton over there, and that's it. That's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be like that, man. Not if it all goes according to Alex Golesh's previous seasons. They're all going to get run, and Auburn's going to run a lot more plays. So, like, in terms of production and receptions and yardage and catches and all those kind of things, I think it's going to be really spread out, even at the slot position. So, for me, it's more about what kind of impact does Bryce Cain make when he touches the football.
Okay.
And I think that it's one of those where it's the second quarter, maybe third quarter. You haven't called his name yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then bang, you hit him on a slant, and it's 60 yards to the house, and they're looking up going, what in the hell just happened to us?
That's a good point. It's a good point. Because to your point, I think what Keyshawn Singleton was the leader in reception, was the leader in receptions and yards last year. I think he had 888, if I'm not mistaken.
And I mean, every one of them, when they would come in, Nick, I would look at it, and it was like 34 receptions, 37 receptions, 42 receptions. Like, it's just really, they all get run.
Yeah, but Keyshawn Singleton had he
was up there for sure.
And I think Koger was right behind him at like 40 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, to your point, that makes a lot of sense right there. To your point, so and if Chaz Nimrod would not have gotten hurt, he probably would have been up there with Keyshawn Singleton as one of the leading receivers on the team last year. So, and
then like we all assume that Byron Brown's not going to throw or run the ball 170 times or whatever it is, right? Like, I think he still runs the ball a lot, but I think there's going to be more receptions opportunities for the receivers, because I don't think they're going to run them that much in the SEC.
Okay.
So there's going to be even more out there. Last year, Singleton had 50 receptions, 877 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 17.5 a catch. So
that sounds, that's good.
It's a deep room. It's a deep room. It's exciting. Nick, I know another guy that you've been excited about for a long time. And you got, man, like, both of yours are very, very important. These guys kind of have to step up this year.
Got to.
I love this one. Jordan Crawford, big defensive lineman from in-state Alabama. Why is this his year, buddy?
Okay. So I have been on record saying that by year 3, Jordan Crawford would be the best player, not on Auburn's team, but the best defensive player in the country. I believe that highly about Jordan Crawford and his ability to dominate football games. Like, I really believe he has that type of star talent, that type of star power to be able to wreck games and decide football games at the defensive tackle position. I really believe that. You would hear stories about when people would go to practice and they would watch, and they would be at practice and they would watch Jordan Crawford, or they would be there to watch other people. Then when they see Jordan Crawford, they'd be like, "Well, who is that guy?" Like, well, that's Jordan Crawford. He's a freshman. He's a true freshman. Like, really? Okay. All right. We got to keep our eye on this guy. But no, just having that dominant presence in the middle, I like when you think of dominant presence, you think of like the Aaron Donalds. I'm going NFL here. You think of like the Aaron Donalds of the world. You think of like, you go back, you think of like the Warren Sapps, guys that could just kind of just dictate football games from that 3-tech nose position. You think of Nick Fairley's of the world. You think of those type of guys. And I really believe that the talent, watching him play, watching his tape from Parker and seeing him at Parker, I really believe that Jordan Crawford has that ability to come in and be able to decide football games from the interior defensive line. I really believe it. And the two guys that I picked on my side, if you watch Water Cooler Talk Sports, you know that we love line of scrimmage talk. We can talk offensive line and defensive line all day long, but probably wouldn't get a lot of views. But the thing is, I love the interior and I love line of scrimmage because that is truly where games are won. Just being completely honest with you, that's where it is.
Miami and Indiana, perfect example.
Exactly. That's where games are won. And when I look at him, people be like, dude is just like a tree stump in the middle, but he's athletic as well too. Dude is legitimately, he's an athletic guy. And Auburn has lacked one thing. Auburn in the past has been able to get pressure off the edges, but one thing that Auburn has lacked has been able to get pressure up the middle. So when you get pressure on the edges and the quarterback steps up the middle, he still has the ability to keep his eyes downfield and make a pass down the field. You got to be able to get pressure in his face as well to where the pocket collapse in every direction, and it makes it harder for him to make a completion, or at least it affects it to where it actually helps the back end of the defense as well. So Jordan Crawford, I'm gonna stand on this. This is his breakout year. By year, people gonna know who Jordan Crawford is more outside of Auburn and the people that know him a little bit outside of Auburn. But I'm gonna stand on this. By his 3rd season in college football, he will be the best defensive player in the country, and I'm gonna stand on that. I think Jordan Crawford has to be that guy. It's big getting Dallas Walker the 4th back. Please believe I understand that, but the fact that he's a young guy that has the ability that has a lot of years of eligibility left, as long as Auburn can keep him in the fold, and the fact that I just think highly of him, and the fact that we just need somebody that can get pressure up the middle on passing downs, just interior pressure. I believe he can be that guy. So Jordan Crawford, I think, has a breakout season this year for Auburn.
I hope you're right on this one, and I think you will be, because I was a little bit surprised that it didn't come last year.
Who you telling?
And that's no knock on him. It's just how highly I think of him as a player. But at the end of the day, and because like you mentioned there, you would talk to people that were at off-season workouts, like, hey, how's it going? And they would say, hey, we got a monster. Like, we got like a real life monster that should scare folks that's going to play D-line. Now, at the end of the day, there's still technique and all this other stuff involved. And look, you can be a monster, you can be a big boy and all that kind of stuff. Other teams got them too.
Yep.
And still, true freshman, not getting a lot of run on the line of scrimmage. I'm never going to make much of that. It usually goes that way versus the other way.
Mm-hmm.
When the guys that come in early, the Keldrick Falks and the Connor Lews of the world, and play on the line of scrimmage right out the gate, well, you're going to see them drafted really highly in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
So that's how that goes. There's not a lot of those guys. I think Jordan Crawford has that ability though, and I believe here's the important thing. I believe in the coaching he's receiving.
Mm-hmm.
He's with a coach that's going to develop him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think you're going to see him continue to get better and better. And then when you talk about pressure from the interior offensive line, we can think back to obviously the Nick Fairley days. You can, go back and look at like a Super Bowl 55 where Patrick Mahomes is running from his life from Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett. But he's running for his life from those two edge rushers because Vita Vea is destroying the inside of that pocket from that nose tackle position every single play. So it definitely, and then that complements, if this happens, Nick, if Jordan Crawford does what you're predicting him to do, then it's only going to complement your prediction for Jared Smith.
Exactly.
So yeah, bang, bang here from Nick. I hope both of those work out. It would be great. We'll get to some of these comments here, and then we will get to my last one of the day. And we've got some of you guys letting us know who you have having a breakout year. So we will definitely pull those up in a second. Lindsay says, I'm late, but I'm here. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you. I was almost late, Lindsay. I mean, it was hard for me to roll out of bed this morning. So I get it. That bed be comfortable on a rainy Sunday morning. Our guy Tez with the War Damn Eagle. Tez, I got to get you on the show, buddy.
Shout out to Tez.
We got to get you on the show, my guy. He also says, it's not a ton of answers for a 3-tech you can't block. Crawford can be that guy for sure. Yes. Yeah, it's a whole different deal. It's kind of like a quarterback that can run the football. It's like, oh, wait. I got to worry about the 3-tech blowing up the pass and play, dude. Like, good. That's great. Yeah, he has a unique ability. Hopefully we're able to see it on the field this year. Sub-Zero says, Ward and Eagle family, what is up? Sub-Zero 2516. Appreciate you. You've been in here. Longtime supporter of the show. And Rodney says, do you know how fast he runs the 40? Talking about Bryce Cain. Now, Rodney, I don't have the 40 time off top. But I'll tell you what I do have, brother. I do have a video that can give you a quick answer here. This is versus Foley, his senior year. You see him catch the slant, and then I kind of lose sight here for a second. He's so fast. I had to move my camera. I was like, oh, he's going to be here.
Look at that.
Yeah, so that's how fast he is, bud.
Look at how he just pulls away from the defender.
Yeah,
he just pulled away from him, bro. And part of that is the defender just knew he wasn't gonna catch him. He just kind of like, all right, man. He's like, all right.
He's really fast. That's that I do know. That I do know. Rodney said, oh my God. Yeah, he can move. He can move, buddy. Get him the football in space, and it's a wrap. My final one, I'm going with my guy, Ty Buster. I have not been shy about how much I believe in Ty Buster. I called him him and Elijah Melendez, the most underrated recruits in last year's class. Again, and apply what we talked about with Jordan Crawford here. Line of scrimmage.
Yes.
You're expecting a true freshman to come in, a 3-star for North Carolina, and play right away on the other line. Probably not going to happen. And obviously with the Dylan Wades and the guys that Auburn had in the interior, that was not going to be the case. You had veteran guys. He was never going to play much last year at all. Now, I would check in from time to time throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, hey, how's my boy? Check with my sources. Say, how's my boy Ty Buster doing? And I always got positive reviews. I think Ty Buster did not receive good offensive line coaching last year. I'm hopeful that that's going to change this year. And I fully believe in I spoke with Connor Liu at SEC Media Days. And I asked him about Ty Buster. He lit up, man. He was like, this kid's a dog. So I've heard a lot of good things about him from people, behind the scenes. And also, Nick, we're looking at this offensive line. And Alex Goldis said, on paper, I have a plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
What we know about football is on paper don't always work. Actually, it doesn't work so much that usually when I hear on paper, I kind of start looking sideways. I'll give you an example. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I will not be high on the LSU Tigers this year.
Man, I thought I was the only one. Okay.
No.
I was about
We
to
can have
say.
this. We can have this discussion a different day. But I'm just telling you, bro. The on paper, I ain't buying it with that one, and we'll get into that another day.
I thought I was the only one, but
You're
okay.
not. You're
All
not.
right. Okay.
We'll have this conversation.
All right.
No, that's gonna blow up. Britney Spears got a song called "Toxic."
Oh my god.
That's the theme song and what's going to go on a bad route. But on Ty Buster, I just think he's that guy, man. I think he's a good player. I've been very high on. I mean, I was 2 minutes into doing the film breakdown for our members on him, just watching the huddle. I was like, "Whoa, I gotta restart here. This is a little bit different. The motor, athleticism, everything. I'm telling you, he's a dog.
Yep.
There's a lot of questions on that offensive line. Somebody, you got the paper. Who we predict to start? Who's projected to start? That's not going to go according to plan. It never does. You have an entire offensive line room that's brand new for the most part.
Yep.
Ty's one of the 3 returners.
Yep.
But the whole starting offensive line is going to be brand new. There's going to be some surprises in that. There's going to be some guys that once they start hitting in camp, that the coaches say, well, the on paper be damned.
Yeah.
This is the best football player.
Yep.
I think Ty Buster is going to rise to the top. And if he doesn't start game 1, he will definitely be in the rotation.
Yeah.
And if somebody gets hurt, he will be the first one to go in.
Yep.
And I believe he will shine similar to what Connor Lew did when that happened.
Yep.
When he got his first opportunity as a young. So
Okay.
I am very high on Ty Buster. He's going to be a very good football player at Auburn, and I predict it's going to happen this year. And these are pre-spring camp predictions now.
Yes.
So we reserve the right to come back after 8A and be like, hey, look, we got some more intel here. We've heard about spring practice. We've seen the spring game. But as of now, man, I look at that offensive line room that has a bunch of questions. I say somebody's going to step up here and earn a job. I think Ty Buster is one of the most talented players in that room. I think his mindset, the way he played, like just motor and mindset, think Jeremiah Wright. That's what he does. Jeremiah Wright told us at the Senior Bowl, I'd never minded playing through the whistle. Neither does Ty Buster. This kid's physical. He's athletic. He's very athletic. When you mix the athleticism with the physicality that he brings, I think Auburn's got a good one, and I think it starts this year, buddy.
Yeah. So like I said, we did a show Friday night of trying to predict the depth chart pre-spring, and we was looking at it and we was like, man, like when we actually look at everybody on the depth chart, this is actually harder. I mean, on the offensive line side, it's actually harder than what we thought because we had got through who we thought would be the ones and the twos, and then I realized, I said Ty Buster, but Ty Buster's not on this field right now. Like, why is Ty Buster not on the field? But I really think that highly of Ty Buster. I really do. I think Ty Buster is actually going to get on the field and play this year. I think he's going to push for a starting spot. In my opinion, I'm not saying he will. I think because I think he's going to be at one of those guard positions, and I think Jack Lyer is probably going to get one of those guard positions, the graduate transfer from Stanford, and I think McManus, the transfer from Akron, who's played like almost 700-800 snaps of college football.
Yeah,
I think he's probably going to get the nod there. But right behind him, I would put Ty Buster right behind one of those two guys, in my opinion, that if something does happen, like you stated, he's going to be the first guy that's going to come in and be able to take over that spot, in my opinion. Man, I like Ty Buster a lot, man. When I first saw his tape when he first committed last year, I said, man, I was like, this is 3-star? That's the first thing. The same way I was with Elijah Melendez. When I saw Elijah Melendez tape, the first time I saw Elijah Melendez tape, I said, yo, who is ranking these people, bro? Like, come on, bro. Like, this is not a 3-star. This is at least a fringe 5-star player. And I turned out to be correctly on that. Shout out to my guy Elijah Melendez. But
I called Philip Dukes, and I was like, who's got this kid as a 3-star?
That's what I wanted to know.
And he said, not the coaches.
That's what I wanted to know.
Not Kirby Smart, No,
that's what I was like. Who is ranking these kids? And man, I looked at it and I said, man, this guy Ty Buster has an opportunity to be one of the next great Auburn offensive linemen that will come through, and it could be as early as this season. I definitely think he will be in the 2 deep when the dust is settled. I do believe that, and I definitely do believe that you will see him get some rotational run this year as well, and potentially push for a starting spot. But as it sits right now, if I had to be honest with myself, I think that those 2 guard spots would probably go to either Jack Lyer or McManus, in my opinion. But could he push for that? He definitely could be. If he has a great spring, if he has a great spring, he comes in mind right, body right, everything ready to rock and roll. I think he has the opportunity to come in and make some people take a second look and be like, yeah, this kid, he may give us the best chance to win, because and even Alex Golesh he said, you have an idea of what you think this offensive line would look like, but he said that may change, and I think that's something that you alluded to just earlier. But man, I like the Ty Buster pick, man. I'm rooting for Ty Buster, man. Ty Buster is my Elijah Melendez this year, in my opinion. That's who I believe he's my Elijah Melendez. Shout out to Elijah Melendez, man. You made me look like you made me bro. Shout out to Elijah Melendez, man.
Well, the thing that was so crazy about that one too is it's like he's kind of in South Florida, like central to South Florida.
Yes,
they don't normally miss on those. Ty Buster's from rural North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah.
I get it. You don't normally miss on guys from Kissimmee, Florida. Just very interesting. But look, the thing too here, you talk about those guys, Jack Lyer and the transfer from Akron. I think I'm going to go with the Akron transfer and Ty Buster to get get that starting spot, man. Because look, so here's where we can really get into this conversation of we don't know a lot about the new staff. We've seen previous staffs, and you can see it all across the country, overvalue experience. And I say that knowing that experience is valuable. I understand that experience is valuable. But at some points in time, I felt like Auburn has been playing the wrong person because of experience. Let's go back to last year. Would you have rather played Jackson Arnold or Deuce Knight throughout the year? I think the answer is Deuce Knight. It damn sure was Ashton Daniels. Now that doesn't play into the whole experience thing and all that. But so what I'm saying here is, when they line up and start hitting, they start hitting first day, second day of spring. You got an expectation that it's going to be transfer from Stanford, Jack Lyer, because he's played football before and blah, blah, blah. One thing, he's battled injury.
Yeah.
So if he can't stay healthy, next man up. Mm-hmm. And that's part of my prediction here. A lot of these guys that got brought in got injury concerns.
Stan Ramil is one of them.
Yeah, like, so at some point, somebody going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And it's going to be who's behind you. And again, even if Ty Buster starts out as second string, I believe he's going to get on the field at some point, and it's going to be a wrap. And so I'm looking at better offensive line coaching, getting the best out of them. And also, I just think, man, like when they line up and start playing in the spring, I think you're going to be like a week into it if you're the coaches, and you're going to look at it and say, this Ty Buster kid's one of the best ones we got.
Mm-hmm.
So then again, you can have these whole conversations about experience and where all that falls. But in terms of just raw talent, looking in that room right now, I think Ty Buster's at the top. I'm not saying he's the most, because like a lot of them are new, so like I don't have a complete profile on all the guys. Mm-hmm. But I think he's one of the most talented, just raw talent guys in that offensive line room. And then with an offensive line that's completely up for grabs, I don't think it's crazy to predict that one of the more talented guys is going to eventually rise to the top. So that's I'm going with a little bit of a surprise pick here. I'm going with Ty Buster to come out.
I'm gonna ask you this question because you brought up something that I've been thinking about with this offensive line when you said something about injury, right? Mm-hmm. Because When you look at Ramil had injury problems. When you look at Jack Laier had injury problems, and that's potentially the left side of your offensive line. At left tackle and left guard. That's potentially what it is. Would you be more willing this year? And I like to take everything into consideration, because sometimes we can just kind of like, segregate some stuff and then not look at everything else. But with, Byron Brown being the quarterback, you basically kind of just picked up the whole wide receiver room, brought it to Auburn. A lot of guys don't understand exactly what it is, but you are rebuilding this offensive line. Let's say you go Cole Best at center. Let's say you go Ty Buster at guard. Let's say you can go Jacoby Ward or Derek Plass at the other guard. Let's say you go TJ Hedrick, transfer from Ole Miss at one of the tackle spots, or Joseph Simmons at the other tackle spot. I think if you did something of that nature, or could you see a Barry McWhirter, true freshman, come in and compete for a tackle spot? Could that happen? Would you be more willing to be okay with an offensive line that young, with not that much experience, but having a center that has almost 2,000 snaps of college football playing? Would you be okay with something like that?
Oh, what's so weird about this season right now for me is that I don't want to have expectations that are too high. I want to be very reasonable. And we've discussed this, me and you, a little bit on the show about we would be okay with 7-5, 8-4. And some people are going to disagree with that. But when you look at the totality of where Auburn football is right now and what Alex Golis came into, I know everybody wanted to have roster retention. It's just not really feasible in today's day and age of college football when you change head coaches. Roster retention is probably going to get thrown out the wayside. You're probably going to have a whole lot of new players come in, which obviously Auburn did, over 40 new guys. So what are the expectations? Okay, Nick. On offensive line,
okay,
I would not have any problem with playing a bunch of young guys and dealing with growing pains. I wouldn't. And if there was growing pains, if there was bad because of it, but we saw them getting better, we saw them developing, that would be something we haven't seen at Auburn in
ever.
10, 15 years on the offensive line, man. So like that in itself would be a huge encouraging thing moving forward. The part about this that would suck for me is you've only got 1 year of Byron Brown.
Exactly.
That's the part where it's like, well, I also think we got a dog at QB. And I want him to have the best line possible in front of him for his 1 year, because he's going to be able to drag Auburn across the finish line in some games that Auburn might not have any business winning next year. That's how good I think he is.
Okay.
So, that's tough, man, because just in terms of the future and building the football program moving forward, yes, I would actually, if I had to pick, if you said, Dustin, you can pick average offensive line play next year with the veteran guys. They'll be enough. They'll be average. Or you can get something a little bit below that, playing a bunch of young guys, but they're going to develop and they're going to get better. And moving forward into next season, you're going to have a unit at O-line. Would you be willing to put up with the growing pains?
I would.
I would ultimately go with option B there, but I would hate it for the $3.5 million investment Auburn's making at quarterback.
I get what you're saying.
So, at the end of the day, let's just block.
But here's the thing, though. Who's to say that young offensive line with better coaching technique would not be average or maybe above average? I mean, I know the people that's gonna be like, well, Nick, what are you talking about? They haven't seen it. Well, yeah, you're correct. They haven't seen stunts or anything like that, probably in gameplay. But that's what tape is for. That's what that is. That's what film study is for. That's what position group meetings are for. So, if you keep messing up at it, okay, then now we have to make a change. But I'm expecting them, if they're new to this, I would expect them to go out here and be like, yeah, I'm expecting you to make a mistake here. Like, because this will be the first time you've seen it, or unless you just, you just a football nerd and you can just watch it one time without doing it and then be able to go out and do it. I don't think it's too many people out there that can do that. It may be some, but I'm expecting you to make a mistake. But after one, maybe two times, of seeing that and kind of understand it, like make the adjustment.
And to that point, you made a big investment in Xavier Chaplin last year, a veteran guy with experience, had accolades, had awards, All-American, all ACC, whatever in the world it was. And he kept making those mistakes all year, buddy.
Exactly.
And youth wasn't an excuse there.
Exactly. That's my point. So at least you can say, like, if that happens, if that continues to happen, it's a youth thing, if that happens. Because to your point, I think Byron Brown is great enough to cover up a lot of mistakes that you won't see on this offensive line. I mean that you will see on this offense after the game, after going back and rewatching the game. I think he's that good. You get what I'm saying? I hope hopefully that makes sense. So, I mean, I would probably go with option B with what you said, with what you're saying, and especially the way that they run, especially the way that this offense is run with so much tempo and things of that nature. I would probably go option B in my personal opinion. Just a little bit younger with a little bit more youthfulness, without the concern of injury, in my opinion.
Clifton says Saturday, September 5th, 2026, Auburn 0, Baylor 56.
Cliff, come on, Cliff. With not and you got the Wood Harris. You got the Wood Harris paid in full avatar. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You can't do that to me. Playboy. I'm moving different.
Big Sarge says the Byron Brown led team has never produced 0 points. Yeah.
You can't do. He can't believe 0 to 56. Come on, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He trolls.
Baylor's scoring 56 next year. It's kind of funny.
Oh man,
kind of funny. I was told they were going to do that to us last year. Let's get to some of these comments, man. We got some good ones. Alex says, I think Anquan Fagans will be the breakout star and breaks Auburn interception record.
Wow.
Okay, what's the record? Wow. Is it 4 or 5?
I think it is 4. I look it up real quick.
Look that up. Auburn's record and most interceptions in a season. Definitely. I'm definitely with you, Alex, on the breakout year from Anquan Fagans. I think him and Eric Winters are going to be very, very solid over there. And I'll say this: both the guys I gave are on offense. Go defense. Watch my guy Blake Woodby, man. Watch my guy Blake Woodby. He might be one of those guys where he's just so good they got to put him on the field. So I think Anquan Fagans will have a nice year, Alex. I'm with you. Interception record. Let's see. Nick's making a face. It must be a crazy number. Probably some crazy number from way back in the day.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Some through the 40s had like 9. Yeah.
1969. Buddy McClinton, 9 in a season.
Let's go, buddy. Let's go, Buddy McClinton. Stand up, dude. That's what's up.
Hold on. Let me verify this because
double check it. Jake Johnson, Chaz Nimrod are 2 to watch, according to our guy. NH Barn Booster has been a member for 2 months. Appreciate you being a member, buddy. Yeah, I'm with you. Chaz Nimrod is. I'm definitely with you on that one for sure. It's gonna be fun to watch and see what he has. There's a lot of options. There's a lot of options in that room. Thank you, man. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for being a member. We appreciate you being here. Tez says, watching Cody Sigler too, extremely versatile, thinking he'll make an impact. I'm with you on the Cody Sigler thing. Big pickup. Auburn needed to get a guy like that down there on the defensive line. I think he could have a big year, and he could be the latest Arkansas State transfer to do big things for Auburn on the defensive line. Huggy says, if them Tigers can't get the O-line tightened up and have some presence on the D-line, they should have a decent season at the very least. You're right, Huggy. You got to win in the trenches, bud. You got to win in the trenches. Big Sarge says, Ty Buster is my pet cat because he's from North Carolina. So is your cat's name Ty Buster? Is that what you're telling me? Well, that's a great name for a cat.
That is actually pretty interesting. That's interesting.
What's your cat's name? Fluffles or something? Nah, that's Ty Buster.
Man.
That's Ty Buster, offensive guard, North Carolina. I like that.
Yeah, Buddy McClinton, 9 in a single season for Buddy McClinton. Interesting.
Let's go. 1969, you said?
1969.
Man. Okay, buddy.
I think the next one behind him was Brian Robinson.
So, Alex.
In 94.
Alex, you said he's going to break it. So, Vegas is going to get 10?
Yeah, to be more careful, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, if he does that, he got to win an award. He got to win a postseason award.
If he does that, Alex, I will buy you tickets to an Auburn game.
Whoa, now. All right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, goodness. If you call that one, Alex, I just did on yesterday's episode looking back at predictions from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all help me out because it's a long way from the season. So we'll try to remember this. But Alex predicted 10.
10.
If he gets 10, if Vegas gets 10, I will buy Alex tickets to an Auburn football game. I can't promise they're going to be 50-yard line, 10th row, brother. But get you in the building. I got a feeling I'm not going to be worried about it. But, hey man, listen.
I got a feeling.
I hope you, but I want to. Just know this. I hope you're right.
And if he does
I do hope you're right. I think it was Simp a couple of years ago who had like 4 or 5 through the first couple of weeks.
He did.
And I was like, whoa, watch out now. They didn't get 1 cent.
Did get another one.
Yeah. NH Barn Booster says, I fixed Clifton's post with the $5.99 super chat. Thank you for that, brother. Auburn 56, Baylor 0, Bama 10, East Carolina. What is that?
It says 30.
Oh, okay. Bama 10, East Carolina. I didn't know if he was saying negative 10. Okay, I got you. Alabama 10, East Carolina 30. Okay.
Hey,
let's go Pirate. Is Aldridge still at ECU? Is Josh?
No, I think Aldridge moved. I think Aldridge left. I think Aldridge
he got promotion, didn't he?
He did.
He got a whole DC job and something.
Yeah, he did. If Mr. Beast get him $100 million, hey, it possibly could. Did I read that story about Mr. Beast?
No.
Mr. Beast. I don't know if he was being serious or not, but he was saying that he doesn't, because he's from North Carolina. And he was like, what if I drop $100 million with ECU? I think it was ECU. How would that help them win a national championship? So there's this story. There's just been stories going around about him potentially writing a $100 million check to ECU football.
Man, well, I'm sure that the folks in the administration offices of East Carolina University are on board with that plan. That would be
interesting.
You know what's funny? That's something I would do if I just had stupid money. You know what? I want to see.
Just go each year, just be like, you know what? I want to see them compete. No,
and in all honesty, I don't know if Auburn would be in trouble anymore because everything I would do is legal. So yeah, we would just have the best roster ever. A couple of years ago, I would have had us in some serious trouble. But
who cares? All you gotta do is just find a judge that is just
right. Hey, listen, what I'm saying. But hey, listen, just know this, guys. If I ever do come up on that Tim Cook money, you won't be asking where's it at. You'll know. You'll know up front. Oh, you'll see it. That's where Dustin.
Oh man.
Michael says, Dustin, read my mind, but we have to win with BB now, at least make a run at it. Yeah, this is the thing that's kind of the mental gymnastics. It's kind of the tug of war that's going on in my brain right now is that I would be okay with Auburn going 7-5, 8-4 in terms of the totality of everything that the program is and where it's at and things like that. I also am not going to be shy about how good I think Byron Brown is. And when you have a quarterback that is that good, you do kind of feel like you need to make a run at it. So it's definitely Yeah, I'm with you, Michael, for sure. You gotta at least try. And I mean, obviously they're definitely gonna do everything they can. Let's see. Big Sarge says the O-line is going to come down to which players can play at the pace of the offense, and it has the strength and mobility necessary.
Agree.
Yeah, it's going to be a big part of it for sure.
Agree.
I'm excited for this because, Gus was an up-tempo guy, and then he stopped being an up-tempo guy. And Hugh Freeze said he was an up-tempo guy, but he said a lot of stuff. We never actually saw it. So it felt like maybe if we got 4 or 5 yards on first down, we would crank the tempo up. But that rarely happened. So, yeah, I'm excited to actually see an up-tempo, fast-paced, let's get it going type offense.
Yep.
I've missed it. It was fun. Tess says, I also think Duke Smith will see the field, and then he'll never leave the bench again. Yeah, I always forget about Duke Smith, and I shouldn't, because here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you, and I said this on our member pods when we were doing them during his recruitment. When we would look at the tape, I was higher on him as a defender.
Yeah, that's what everybody said.
So, and it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean I wasn't high on him as a receiver. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what, if he can get on the field and make something happen for sure. Lindsay says, is McPherson back 100%? It'll make our lives much easier.
Yes,
yeah, I believe so.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, he came in last year after they kind of figured out everything, and all accounts are he's good to go. So, knocking on wood, fingers crossed. But, I think they've finally been able to identify all the issues there and get it going. So continue to pray for him and wish the best. One bad game. Yeah, that one bad game versus Missouri. After that, didn't miss a field goal. So, you know what he is. He's a dog. Slugged Up Dirk and says, hit that like button. Absolutely.
Slugged up.
Let's go. I think you're going to see a Slugged Up Durkin this year. Nick, when you do, you've learned this, buddy. When you do these shows, you got to kind of accept that you're going to put your face and you're going to put your opinions out there.
Yeah.
And people are going to disagree with them. And you just got to kind of have thick skin. Yeah. And I learned a valuable lesson with the whole Auburn Cal thing when me and Blake got drugged through the mud across multiple media outlets, took our stuff out of context. We ended up having to copyright people that were taking our stuff and using it out of context and saying we said things that we didn't say. Ultimately, what we said was Cal sucked and Auburn sucked. And anybody that watched that game in Jordan-Hare Stadium and thought both of those teams were decent is wrong. And I put a win total on it. Said Cal won't win more than 7 games, and Auburn will struggle to make a bowl, but I think I said 6. They won't win more than 6 regular season games. Got destroyed by Auburn fans, really got destroyed by the Calgorithm. Ended up being, and I made bets with Cal beat writers. I made one bet with one Cal beat writer, Nick, where I said, hey, if Cal does go and win more than 7 games, I'll come on here wearing Aaron Rodgers jersey and sing the fight song. And I'll buy the Aaron Rodgers jersey. He said, okay, well, what happens if they don't? I said, nothing. That's how confident I am. Nothing. I just want y'all to say I'm right. And ultimately, I was right. And guess what? Nothing. Nothing happened. So big learning lesson for me. But I opened up, I said, okay, who cares, right? So I usually just ignore this stuff.
Okay.
But I got to have fun with one guy because he was so loud and he was so wrong. And I almost forgot about this, but I opened up my Googles and I saw an article about the massive debt at Florida State University's athletic department. They are over $400 million in debt. Why do I bring this up? Did a show with B. Will. Remember B. Will from the War Report? First time with the War Report. And I was kind of clowning FSU online. And he hit me up and he was like, what's your deal with FSU? I said, well, I just don't like them. I don't know, tell you, like I grew up in the area, I'm right here in the Panhandle. I've been around a lot of Florida State fans. Don't like them. And the things I'm saying, and the national championship they beat us in obviously plays a big part of that. I'm not going to say it doesn't. And then that quarterback went to my pro team and busted. Not going to say I do hold all that very personally. So it is if you're a Florida State fan watching this, yes, it is because of your victory over us in the national championship. That plays a big part in my hatred, and I want to apologize for that.
Now, what I was saying was Florida State broke. And they have a fair weather fan base. They have a fair weather fan base. They don't have a lot of rich boosters. They don't have a very deep pocketed alumni base. And their administration and the community around them is not as committed to sports as you think they are.
Okay.
On the outside looking in, you would think they are. Really, it's just Bobby Bowden. They haven't done shit outside of Bobby Bowden. And they never will. The only reason you even respect that name is because of Bobby Bowden. Outside of him, you got nothing. It's like Virginia Tech with Frank Beamer. You respect that brand because they had one great coach that made you respect it. But once he's gone, what has it been? Now, I know people that donate to Florida State. I know people. I went to high school with people. I have friends that played football at Florida State.
Okay.
That's the whole reason why I did that show, because I had knowledge that they don't have any money and that they're going to die and drown in this current era of college football.
Okay.
So why am I talking about all this?
Okay.
Duke OT made a post, and I'll tell you how petty I am. This was years ago. This was after Auburn lost to New Mexico State. And I came on the War Report post game, and I said, this isn't going to work, guys. A good head coach doesn't lose 31-10 to New Mexico State. You can sell that on down the river somewhere else. I ain't buying it. This whole thread on the message board was about how the people at the War Report are super emotional, and we don't know what we're talking about because we didn't defend a 31-10 loss to freaking New Mexico State. One, it's obvious who was right in that. But two, I'm going to read this comment here from Duke. Dustin from Uptempo is an idiot. Like the guys from the War Report, he comes from a place of emotion, not fact. He lives near FSU, and his hate for them is often on full display. He went on this weird rant about how they're not a top program, and the money they bring in is minimal, which is just outright wrong. I have that underlined. Not surprising his take was so awful, even with it being in the middle of post-loss emotion. So he brought up something from a podcast I had done months before at this point because he didn't like my take on Hugh Freeze is not going to be a good coach after the New Mexico State loss. So he brought up this whole thing. I let a lot of this roll off the sleeve, Nick. I let a lot of this stuff go because you know we get this every day. I let a lot of this go. But just an idiot. And the money they bring in is minimal, which is just outright wrong. Acted out of emotion, not fact. This is what I saw on Google yesterday. $437 million in debt is that athletic department. $437 million in debt. Coming off of a 2-win season and a 5-win season with a lame duck head coach. They're middle of the pack in ACC attendance. They have no idea. They couldn't afford you know why they didn't fire Mike Norvell? They can't afford to. They can't afford to pay a big buyout. They're already $437 million in debt. So to my guy, Duke OT, and to Trash Panda, the dumbass that liked it, I say good day. Just an idiot? I'm just an idiot. Just acting out of emotion, no fact. I present the facts. It was worse than even I thought. Shut up, man. Shut up.
The fact that you went back and found them.
Bro, right when I saw it on Google, I was like, yo, I got this saved on my phone somewhere.
The fact that you went back and found a comment, no. And this, I like it. I like it, Dustin. I love it. That is great. That's great television right there. Hey, what was it? Duke OT is his name?
Yeah, Duke OT. Go over there and holler at him on the message boards.
What's his name? Trash
Let him know
Panda?
we talked. Yeah, Trash Panda with his trash ass takes.
Well, y'all look stupid as I don't know what.
Ask
Hey,
anything.
That's hilarious. That's great, Dustin. That's great. That got to be, besides the one when you said, I forgot what it was about the grocery store thing. Oh, that was great. This one right here got to be the top one. This is the top one, Dustin. That's top right there. That's great, Dustin.
Listen,
the fact that you went back and found it, man. Woo!
Just an idiot.
It became personal, Dustin.
Oh, I assure you.
You took the Michael Jordan approach. It became personal with me.
The number one thing that I work on in my life is forgiveness. I will hold a grudge, brother.
Oh man,
I remember. I do remember. Slugged Up says, "Bro, don't even waste your time." Listen, I don't, man. I'm having fun. I'm having.
You just had to. You had to do it.
Yeah,
though.
I had to. Listen. I promise you, Slugged Up. I let a lot go. That one right there, because he was so loud about it. Because there was a whole thread about it. Like, yeah, I had to have a little fun. Normally we let it go. It's the off season. Nick, you got anything before we get out of here, bud?
Nah, man, that was great, man. But no, yeah, Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Check us out, live shows, and of course, visit www.watercoolertalksports.com for all of your college football, SEC football, and of course, Auburn football news in written form. Just put up an article today trying to correlate the NCAA's loss of control to the Trinidad Chambliss case. So take a list, go read that article, tell me what you think about it. My thoughts on that. It's an opinion piece. This one is an opinion piece from my end. So just go take a look at that, read that, tell me what you think about it, man. Yeah, shout out to Dust for always allowing me to come over here and talk ball with him, because that was great, man. That was great, man.
Ted says for 99 cents a day, you can help an FSU player make it to the ball.
Did Ted just add on top of it?
Let's go.
What we doing, man? What we doing?
An angel.
Oh man, bro, that's hilarious.
Good stuff, man. Fun as always with my guy Nick. Go check out that article that he just spoke about. Listen, love you guys. Appreciate y'all being tapped in with us. Subscribe to the channel today. We're like 15 away from 3,000. Let's make that happen this week. Members, stay on the lookout. Got some more film breakdowns dropping for you guys. Go watch that Donovan Moore one if you haven't. Got a lot of comments early in this episode about basketball, baseball. I think tomorrow I'm going to drop my recap of everything that happened this weekend on the diamond and on the hardwood. So, yeah, Rodney said he had a blast today. Good job. Thanks, buddy. See a lot of y'all in the comments enjoyed the show today. Thank you guys so much. Remember to share that on social media and all that good stuff. And to be back here. We do this every single Sunday at 9 a.m. Go follow all the great work that Nick has going on. Follow everything that we got going on, and be at the weekend tailgate, 1 p.m. with the guys over the War Report. Y'all know the deal. It is War Damn Eagle. We'll see you on the next one.
War Eagle, man.